Sunday. And welcome everyone to the wild episode. I think that we're on episode 28, so it's been a super fun 30 weeks of virtual experiences, and we love to spend Sundays with you, being comforted and connecting. And we're going to ask everybody to lean forward towards their device, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad or a computer right now, and enter in something wild that has happened to you this week, or something wild that you have done this week, so we can get into the mood for this episode and think like the wild people that we are. Just a reminder, if you need any of the recipes, they always live here at belindacheng.com in the virtual BOOZY brunch tab. And I cannot wait to see all of your images if you're making Dominique's brilliant barbecue kit today, or if you're doing any of the drinks or any of the cooking. Here comes Kaho, who always shoots amazing pictures of the cocktails. Here comes Alessa too. So we love it when you put those up on social media and share all the fun that we had here on Sunday. All right, so it's time. We've been having a lot of great co-hosts over the last couple weeks, and this person I am super excited to spend Sunday with. KERI Levins is our first three-peat, and she was a part of the episode last week, which featured fresh things, fresh drinks, fresh ideas, and fresh flavors. But she is the first person who has ever appeared on Virtual BOOZY Brunch 3 times. And she's also a 3-time threat because she's an amazing chef, went to culinary school. She's an amazing sommelier and wine director, and just knows so many things. So KERI Levins, I'm gonna toss it over to you for the next part of brunch, where we remind everybody how we do it.
Yeah. I'm becoming a little bit of a pro in how we do it, since I've joined so many times and have been able to participate, which is so much fun. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for sharing this part of your Sunday with us for these beautiful virtual BOOZY brunches. There are a couple of things we do. I know that I've usually walked away with a new skill, a new dance move, that's for sure, and some new cocktail recipes as well. So some easy ways that you can view and participate from home. We have the gallery view, which is what I love to watch because I get to see all of your faces and all of your cocktails and culinary creations. And then also we have the spotlight view. So if you're in the spotlight view, which you can change just at the top of the right-hand corner of your computer screen there, if you are in the spotlight view, don't forget we still can see you in the gallery view. Virtual BOOZY Brunch has been pants optional, so just keep a reminder that we still can see you even if it's the spotlight view.
KERI, I've been at a lot of these Zooms, and I'm pretty convinced there's a good percentage of people that think no one can see them. I mean,
yeah, so just keep that in the back of your mind.
We can't see you.
We also have the chat box. I hope everyone has put a few of their wild things, wild creations, ideas that they've had recently in the chat box, and good news just in general. I know that that always kind of keeps me uplifted and focusing on the positive in all these wild and crazy times that we're in right now. And and lastly, just thank you so much for sharing this part of your day. We know that the weather is getting nice and we all want to run outside. However, we still feel like this is the kind of the most fun, positive, and supporting environment that that I know of and I love to be a part of. So we're gonna keep it that way.
So Mark flashed up a slide real quick of last week, and so thank you to everyone who joined us last week. It was a counterpart of Anthony's and some other really fun people. And this week we're going to have so much fun with some wild guests. If you have intentions to drink a little bourbon with us today, hopefully you have some ice cubes and the ingredients that were specified in Anthony's recipe ready to go, including some fistful of bourbon. I got mine ready. We are also going to be making some delicious barbecue with Chef Dominique from Lexington Betty's. She has 3 locations here right now in Chicago, with more to come in other parts of the country. So a lot of people are getting ready to make her incredible. By the way, I licked it all off of my hands when I got some of the barbecue chicken on Friday. It was so delicious. So she's going to be taking us through her sauce and then helping us assemble her kit, which you also have the recipe recipes for all the dishes if you're doing it from scratch, and you can do that along with us. And then we're going to get a little woo-woo with one of my favorite people, Jen Weigel, star of stage and screen, and she's well known here in Chicago for her knowledge of food and beverage and also of things spiritual. So I'm going to learn about sage from her because I've had this stuff sit in my closet for a while. Maybe that's why the spirits are still here. But the last part of today, we're going to do some dancing. We started this off just 2 weeks ago. My friends Christine and Chris, who are an amazing couple, so talented, do so many things, choreographed a virtual boozy brunch dance, which my original intention was to put up on TikTok. I mean, how fun, right? We need a dance to be a real thing. So we're going to learn the rest of that choreography, and then we're going to film it in a little bit. So that's going to be fun. That's our plan. I don't know about you, KERI, but I'm getting pretty thirsty. So I'm ready to get into this. Let's do it.
Me too. And I am so excited, especially because this really captures the spirit of virtual boozy brunch, that I get to, and you all get to reconnect with one of my favorite bartenders on the planet. I think it's amazing that virtually we get to connect and make a cocktail and enjoy that together. So we have Anthony Bollinger, one of the most fun people to work with. That's how I know him. He has been working in hospitality for over a decade. He's now the U.S. ambassador for Fistful of Bourbon. And really one of the most creative and intuitive bartenders that I know, always entertaining and making delicious cocktails constantly. So you've got 2 cocktails for us today with Fistful of Bourbon. Yes?
That's correct.
So good to see you.
You want to get this going?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, how we doing? Thank you for that amazing introduction. I am one of the best in the world at it. I'm just joking. My name's Anthony Bollinger, and I am the national ambassador for a brand new whiskey out in the market called Fistful of Bourbon. And like KERI said, I've been in the bar industry for a little over a decade, and I like simplicity, I like easy things, and I like to focus on technique. So that's what I'm going to bring to the table for everyone watching today. 2 simple cocktails, really basic ingredients, things you can just probably have already in your apartment, in your home, or you can buy at the grocery store. But when you're focusing on simple cocktails, there's less involved. So technique means everything, right? So the first cocktail we're going to make is a highball. It's very simple. Everyone's probably had a highball before, right? Some sort of spirit and soda and ice. But the amazing thing about making a highball is when you use proper technique, it changes the whole total flavor profile of the cocktail. So grab your highball glass. And first thing we do is add our ice. House ice doesn't really matter. Use your hands. Nobody cares. Fill it almost like a little over halfway. And first we want to do is our whiskey, right? So we're going to add about 1.25 ounces of Fistful of Bourbon. And the reason we're adding the whiskey over the ice is kind of the whiskey is going to kind of dampen and tamper down the ice a little bit and let the ice settle. Let it kind of warm up a little bit. Boom. Second thing we want to do is take a bar spoon or some sort of long utensil and kind of just put it to the base of the glass. And the cool thing about making a highball properly is we kind of copy this Japanese technique, which is more of like a ritual. They're very, very dialed in on how they make their highball. When you make it this way, it changes the flavor profile. So you got your ice, your whiskey, some sort of bar spoon or a kitchen spoon. Put that spoon right to the bottom, right? Kind of spin it around a little bit just to get the ice, kind of get the liquor warmed up, cooled down a little bit. Take a little bit more ice, fill it 3/4 to the top. We want to add our soda water. So anything you want is fine. I like to use mineral water, sparkling. It's a little bit more crisp and effervescent. And the second most important thing about making a highball is you don't want to just splash the soda in there. You want to delicately pour the soda down the side of the bar spoon. That's kind of why we have that spoon in there. And this is really going to change the texture of the cocktail. Almost to the top. 2 moves to go. Take your spoon and just slightly mix very delicately. And then no great cocktail is not finished without a garnish. So we like to add aromatics to a cocktail, just like food and everything. You know, we taste, but we smell first. And the smell is just such a more massive scent than our sense of taste. So I take my lemon, citrus peeler, potato peeler, sharp knife, whatever you have, and we're gonna go for a big swath all the way around the lemon. And I love my garnishes and I like creativity. So You can always just add this to the cocktail, but I like to kind of make it nice and pretty. So if you can see this, we're going to do this, call this a manicured twist. So we take the lemon peel lengthwise, slice it diagonally on each side, boom, and then right down the sides, and you have a really nice, pretty twist. Then the last thing we do is we take, there's always essential oils in citrus, right, in the rind, and they really elevate your cocktail. So you take that lemon twist and you just express it right over the cocktail, around the glass, everywhere. Drop it in. Boom, you got a highball. It's absolutely amazing. It's low ABV in a way because we're only adding about an ounce and a quarter of whiskey.
So,
it's not going to kill you.
Anthony, sorry to interrupt you for just a second. This is Kaho, who is our Garnish resident god. So Kaho, I accidentally made you a host. Can you give the host power back to me, please?
Oh, okay.
And then also, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, this is a really simple kind of spritz. It's a highball. But the reason I want to show you this thing is cocktails don't have to be complicated. It's all about technique. If you go to like a bar or a club, back in the day when we were allowed out, you'd see the bartender take their soda gun and their liquor and just double hand pour it in there. That's all fine and dandy. But if you take a little bit extra time and you make it a proper way, it'll totally elevate the cocktail. One down. Now, let's get into another fun cocktail that requires a little bit of bar tools, a little more technique. But this one goes really well with your barbecue. So this is, I don't think we're calling this the silk pajamas, I think. Is that what we're calling this one? This is pretty much basically just a smash, right? Or like a lemonade, but we're going to kind of make it from scratch. So you want to take your pint glass, something to mix it with, something pretty durable because we're going to muddle in it. We're going to add a few slices of orange into the glass, 3 slices of fresh lemon into the glass. You take obviously a fistful of bourbon, a blend of 5 straight American whiskeys, all bottled into one lovely glass vessel. Add 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces, depending what you like. And that's our first step. So we have our orange, our lemon, and our whiskey. We add the whiskey into there before we muddle as well, because that alcohol is going to really bring out the aromatics and all the little nooks and crannies in the rind. So just a quick muddle, just to get all those oils combined with the whiskey, get the juices out of the orange, get the juices out of the lemons, and mix it up. Super quick, very easy. Now we're going to take our mint. You in the blue shirt, you're doing amazing.
That's Heidi.
Heidi, I love the angle. So it's just gotta be a quick muddle. We don't have to kill ourselves. We're gonna take a small grip of mint, right? We don't want to muddle the mint. We want to shake with the mint because we don't want little mint chunks in our teeth and all that stuff. And we don't want to just really destroy the mint. If you overwork mint, it kind of gets a little bitter. So treat it like, I don't know, your bed sheets. Be gentle. I don't know that. So couple sprigs of mint. I just kind of give a quick tear, just to open those oils up, drop it right in the glass. Next, we need a little bit of sugar, right? I'm using simple syrup, which is literally just equal parts granulated sugar and water. You can use honey, you can use agave, you can use demerara. It doesn't matter. It's all going to change the texture and the flavor profile, but it's all about experimenting. And this is obviously about how sweet you want your cocktail. I do about a 1/2 ounce, keep it really nice and easy. And I think we have our little bit of Angostura bitters. This is kind of a household staple. If you're making cocktails at home, Angostura goes a long way. It's kind of your salt and pepper, your seasoning for your cocktails. Just a couple dashes will do ya. Now we're gonna shake. One of my most favorite things to do in life. So fill it up to the top of the pint glass, cap it off. Now you don't need, yeah, perfect. I'm looking at you, Heidi, you're doing great. Little bar trick, right? We always shake with the glass side or the smaller side of the tin towards you, because if you shake too hard and you lose control, it'll splash on you. It will not hit your guest. So just a quick shake back and forth. We just want to work that mint into the whiskey, open up the lemon and the orange, get everything working together. Boom, how you doing? Ooh, come on, mama. There we go. Now, I love fun glassware, so I'm going to make this kind of a tiki cocktail, right? Because I have a lovely tiki vessel here. So take your highball glass in front of you, fill it about 3/4 halfway up with ice. Now, when we talk about citrus juice, there's two schools of thought. People who like pulp and people who do not like pulp. I absolutely hate pulp. Pulp in my orange juice, pulp in anything, miss me with the pulp. So I'm gonna double strain this. You don't have to at home. You can literally, we call it the old pump and dump. Shake it and dump it right into your glass if you want that texture in your mouth. I don't like it, so I'm gonna use my strainer and my tea strainer and dump it right in. Give it a little shake just to get everything out of there. Boom. The next thing we want to do is top it off. You know, I'm all about strong cocktails, but as I've been sitting home for these past, I don't know, 155,000 days, I'm about just really light kind of spritzes, really soft, delicate cocktails. So I'm adding soda water and kind of spritzing cocktails up lately. So you can literally just top this off with a little bit of soda water. It's going to lengthen out the drink, kind of thin it out a little bit, but give a little bit of effervescent bubbles. Where's my garnish guy?
Kaho, where are you?
Where are you? Get over here, babe.
There it is. We see it.
All right, we're going to try something new. We're going to do a mint bouquet and, oh, look at you. All right, game on. I'm going to one-up you. So garnish is fun, right? It's all about aromatics and pulling out the smaller flavors of the cocktail. Orange is a really great flavor characteristic in the barrels that whiskey is aged in. Lemon, mint, all that stuff works together. So I'm going to take my citrus peeler, make a big swath, and we're going to call this one the angel wings. Got my swath, and then I'm going to do a little about 45-degree angle on the side, kind of make a really obtuse triangle, if that makes any sense. Boom. And then I'm going to kind of flick out about 10 little lines.
Ooh,
so,
this is getting fancy.
Come on here. I don't want to be shown up by that guy.
Listen, a lot of people have tried to do battle, but I like this. It's great.
Grab your mint bouquet. I like to kind of cut it about 1 inch down to the stem. This gives a little bit of support and structure. Grab it kind of by the piece here. And doing this is whatever. I don't want mint on my hands. I want mint on the customer's lips. So I'm going to kind of smash it all around the top of the glass and rub it around, right? It's really going to open the mint oils up in the actual mint sprig, but it's also going to get it all over that glass. I'm going to dump that guy in there. So it's very pretty. And then, let's see what we got going on here. Making me nervous.
Also, Anthony, while you're doing the final assembly on this drink, I wanted to let everybody know too. I mean, he's the man behind an outstanding bar program, James Beard Award at Maison Premier, which was one of my favorite bars in New York when I lived there in Brooklyn, and also worked with KERI at Chef's Club. I mean, this guy's got some real cred, and clearly we can see it because these cocktails look so amazing. Although I'm just sipping the bourbon.
It doesn't really matter.
No, I am too. I'm having a straight bourbon type of morning.
I know, me too, KERI. I'm right there with you. But we
just did a little squeeze of lemon and.
But we are enjoying the artistry, Anthony. So.
Listen, at the end of the day, it does not matter how you drink it. If you drink it at all, who cares? As long as you're enjoying the time you have. But yeah, have fun with it. You know, garnishes, glassware. You know, you could spend an hour making a cocktail and it's just for you by yourself, or you can, you know, make it for a loved one.
And Anthony, so sitting at your bar is one of the most fun experiences for a guest. It's like having, you know, dinner and a show, and to connect with you is so much fun. How can other people follow you now to see what you're up to and see your cocktail creations and follow Fistful of Bourbon?
Yeah, so obviously I'm, you know, because of where we are in this world, it's all virtual and all social media driven. So on Instagram, obviously Fistful of Bourbon is our brand platform. And then you can follow my pretty insane and funny videos on Fistful of Terry. And that's, it's not an age restricted website or anything like that. Yeah, Fistful of Terry, 1L on Instagram. And we're just trying to have fun, create a little levity and show people that, you know, we got a pretty fun and irreverent brand, and we're not following the rules out here.
Anthony, so much fun, and cheers to everybody out there who has something fun to drink and is celebrating this Sunday with us. Anthony would like to, I hope you're going to hang out for a bit because I think that there are some people who have some cocktail questions and bourbon questions, and we'll get to those after we do a little dancing, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, I got 2 drinks to drink, so I'll be here all day.
Awesome. Okay, KERI, I'm going to take it over because we've got some cooking and some eating to do next. So I feel very honored and thrilled to introduce Chef Dominique Leach, who started out with food trucks, and before that was playing basketball and baking peanut butter cookies, all things that I love. And I stopped by one of her restaurants on Friday, as I mentioned, and just like ordered one of everything and tasted it all, and it was so incredible. So she put together a fun kit, which people in Chicagoland were able to pick up, and we're gonna assemble them all with her. And she's also gonna take us through her secret sauce, which, wow, I'm so grateful to be able to learn that recipe and put it all together. So I'm gonna unmute you, Chef Dominique, and if you unmute yourself, we're gonna let you take it away and tell us about your restaurants and your food, and let's get cooking.
Hello there. Hi, Belinda. Hi, everyone. How are you today?
Excited.
Excellent. Well,
You're also bourbon laced now too, so.
Me too. I didn't have the ingredients for the cocktail, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna join the party, so I made a little strawberry bourbon lemonade.
Yes.
And I'm sweating already.
Well, thanks for being in the restaurant on a Sunday. I know you're generally closed on Sundays, so we're excited to be there with you.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. We're closed, but it's a 7-day operation because of the other 2 locations. And so we also have an event right after this with Mariano's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're working that virtual world. Well done.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to start with the barbecue sauce because we got some nice pork belly waiting on it. So I've already put the bourbon into a little sauce pot here. I love this little sauce pot. I thought it was perfect for the demo. And so we're just going to go through the recipe. Anyone that has the kit, I've already sent some barbecue sauce. It doesn't have bourbon in it, but I'll tell you what, if you warm it up and put some bourbon in it, it works out just as well. And it's even better the next day after those flavors macerate overnight, okay? But it'll go perfect with the pork today. So by this time, hopefully everyone's cooked their pork at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, and it's nice and warm with a crispy top, just waiting for the barbecue sauce. So we'll just start. We got the bourbon in a pot, and we're just gonna mix all of these ingredients into a sauce pot, super easy, and let it reduce into the texture that we need the sauce to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my ketchup.
Chef, is there someone nearby? We were getting a little bit of feedback. So for the second camera or the phone, we just need them to turn the volume all the way down on the second camera, and that should take care of it. Also, oh my God, the new Zoom upgrade allows us to spotlight many people at one time. Wow, so fun. Thanks, Zoom.
How's that sound? Is it any better?
Did we get it, Mark? Did we fix? Yeah, I think yeah, there you go. Thank you, Chef.
Excellent. All right, so we got some ketchup going in here. We're gonna add our brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of that. And you wanna periodically give this a stir. You don't want that sugar to clump up on you. It's brown, so it should reduce just fine. We're gonna add a little molasses to the recipe, 3 tablespoons of that.
I see that Victoria's in her kitchen, following every direction. Good job.
Hey, Victoria. That's my girl there. All right.
And then, Chef, for adding the bourbon to your sauce, so you don't need to like boil it or simmer it or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You want to warm it up with the bourbon in it.
Okay.
With the amount I sent, I think I sent about a cup. So
Yep.
just use a couple ounces. It works really well. This sauce, I'm so excited about working with it. I'm particularly using the fistful of bourbon in the sauce because, I mean, I tasted it and it was wonderful, and we now have a relationship. So.
I love you, Chef.
I love you. I wore a shirt because I had to, but I gotta tell you, looking good with the tattoos. I'm like, man, you're making the morning exciting.
I
So
love
I'm gonna
it.
add my apple cider vinegar here. We got some Worcestershire. And I know everybody has the recipe, so I'll just start pouring this stuff in.
Perfect.
All right.
And then, Chef, do you have, everybody talks about how, you know, a sauce is Memphis style or Texas style, or what is your style, or is there a description for your version?
You know, I like to say the sauce is a mix between a Memphis and North Carolina. Let me explain what I mean when I say that, and I'm going to keep making the sauce.
Cool.
So typically when you go to barbecue restaurants, there is a different sauce for the brisket and the pork butt. We have the same one, and it has the best balance. It works out really well. It works out great for the ribs and the pork butt, and the community has been very receptive to it. People love the sauce. We're working on getting it on retail shelves now.
That's exactly what that was my next thing. Like, how do
Absolutely.
I buy a big old gallon of it to put it on everything?
Yeah, well, we had a company that was going to be producing it right before the pandemic, of course. And so they actually shut the factory down because an employee got infected with COVID.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh no. But I think it's a real testament to you that, you know, you're not only continuing with your businesses and you have all of your team employed, you're even still growing the business during this time, a restaurant business. Fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's been an uphill battle, but I keep showing up every day and I just do everything with integrity and love. And it's about loving the skill to me. And so I do it because I love it.
Okay, Chef. So as you're working on the sauce, the people who have the kits at home with the slaw, they could have added the pickling, or no, there's a white sauce to go along with the slaw ingredients.
Yeah, so
right?
we have the slaw mix that we're going to just let that reduce. Of course, I have some of the finished product for you. So we'll go right into the slaw. My autumn slaw, so good. The dressing has some nice acid, celery seed. Just going to toss that in the slaw dressing.
Can you tell us exactly, I see Morgan's got it close to the camera. What exactly are the ingredients in your slaw? What's your blend, your version?
So the slaw dressing, we make it similar to aioli or mayonnaise with just some additional citrus in it. Super basic recipe, egg yolks with oil. We post it. Some TT seasoning. I use the TT seasoning in everything. My wife, my partner in the company, she actually made the seasoning that we season all of our meat in, and I'm in love with it. I use it on everything now, okay? Let me pull the pork butt out of the oven.
Great. I can smell it from here.
I know, it smells so good. Let me tell you, it smells so good. And we could give that, we can give that a slice. I like to think of this as like a shared table meal. I know I'm running out of time here, so I'm gonna get the pickled vegetables.
Perfect. And can you tell everybody what's in that pickled vegetable mix? Because I pulled that out of my kit and I thought, wow, this is so beautiful.
Oh my God, it's so wonderful and aromatic. We got some fresh thyme, some apple cider vinegar, some TT seasoning. What else do we put in there? Some love, whole lot of love.
A whole lot of love.
Whole lot of love. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and plate this. Yeah, these actually got this pickling method from Spiaggia.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh.
That's something amazing about you too, Chef. Like a lot of the people doing this genre of food, so you've done food trucks, you've now done restaurants, and you've also worked in fine dining. So
yeah,
there's a lot of experience that goes into all of this.
Yeah, my background is from mostly Spiaggia and the Four Seasons. But I came up with this concept just because I thought it was, the world's changing every day around us. And I just felt like this concept was important for our culture. And to put barbecue and soul food sides on the map officially for Chicago. You know, everybody talks about Texas and North Carolina, Memphis. Chicago has some bomb barbecue and the world needs to know about it. So that's why I did this, to make my mark.
Love it. So cool.
So there we have it. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna.
Oopsie.
So there, let me just show you guys a little bit of the finished product here.
Perfect. Wow.
Ooh.
That looks amazing.
It It looks so delicious.
And Chef, I have to tell you, so we're vegan, but we still made your barbecue sauce and the coleslaw. So, but we drenched jackfruit in the barbecue sauce, and it's so good.
Wow.
Nice. Wow, that was really creative. So yeah, I'm gonna dab it with some sauce. And I gotta tell you, I've already tested it out. It's pretty phenomenal.
Well done. Bravo. Well, Chef, I know that was probably the fastest cooking segment for like all of these different things that you showed us how to make. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
I'll definitely be there Tuesday at opening time at one of the locations to pick up more chicken and also everything with the sauce on it. So for everybody who wants to follow along her journey on Instagram, it's at lexington.betty. And we're also gonna share an email after all this so that you can find all the locations and you know where to find the recipes. We now have them up on our website, but bravo, Chef Domingue.
Thank you.
So fun.
Thank you guys for having me.
And on everything, and thank you for being with us today. Okay, so everyone's got a drink. I hope they have some food, and now it is time to move on. KERI, will you introduce our third guest for today?
Yes, I am so excited and so curious about our next guest, Jen Weigel. She is an award-winning journalist, author, and food enthusiast, and also is the founder of the Spiritual Social Club, which I want to know all about and how I can join myself. So let's hand it over to Jen.
Jen, we have you unmuted.
Like, I know they originally gave me 10 minutes, but then
I'm going to mute everyone, and then Jen will unmute herself. You have to unmute yourself, Jen. There you go. There we go. We got it.
Well, thank you for including me. Yes, food enthusiast for many, many years, but no way am I a professional with these incredible people. So thank you for your wisdom and your expertise today for everybody. Belinda and I have chatted on the side about our kind of woo-woo stuff. And I have a journalism background. I started in the news business, like everything's wrong, back to you. And after a while, got very curious about things that were kind of, I don't know, beyond this dimension or whatever. My dad died of a brain tumor. I did some investigating, and I thought it was all a bunch of crap, to be honest. And so decades later, I'm still doing the interviews and I'm still compiling the data. 4 books later, I started these Zoom spiritual social clubs because I used to do live events at a theater in Chicago, in the Chicago area, once a month, and I couldn't do those anymore. So I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Well, I tweaked the model. So now we only have 15 to 20 people tops per social club. So people come and they get to ask the experts, and most of them are healers or mediums or psychics, people that I have found kind of like under rocks. They're not famous. They don't want to be famous. They don't have TV shows. They don't want to have TV shows. I'm not against the ones that do have TV shows. They're fabulous. And a couple times, they'll join as well. Rebecca Rosen had her own TV show. She's my guest on October 4th. But really, they're just these, there's something in the water in Long Island. I have so many guests, Linda, from Long Island. It's crazy. They're all like, you'll be blown away, darling. Oh my God, it's hysterical. So I thought I would share with you guys, I recently did a presentation on intuition for a bunch of colleges, actually, because I believe we all have intuition. We all have it. We're born with it. It's a muscle we have to develop to make it stronger, right? It's like going to the gym or running a marathon. You can't run 26 miles without training 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles. So I have some ideas about building your intuition. I also want to show people how to clear the space of negative energy, because if you have guests that come in and they're just, negative, low vibration, not like anybody's really entertaining a lot these days because of COVID, but it's just still, if anybody comes in your space, back in the day, they used to have frankincense in church and all these things. It was just to clear the energy, and it's a very sacred thing. So I want to share that with you. But
can I stop you for just a minute though, before that, because, we've talked about it, and I know all of your Radio Land fans know that, like, what is woo-woo? I mean, I wanted to do this with you today because I feel as if brunch is just about finding ways to, add to your spirit and make the rest of the week better and connect with people. But I think this woo-woo thing and the spirituality thing is a good way to deal with what's happening out in the world and try to refresh and rebuild and that kind of stuff.
Totally. And I think what it is really, it's trusting that there's a bigger picture going on. There's something bigger happening. And can I share my screen? I have a thing that let's see if I can find it here.
You should be able to.
All right, let's see if I can show this to you guys. But I have some definitions of what is intuition. So basically, there's a Webster's definition of what is intuition, something that is known or understood without proof or evidence. And then this author I interviewed, Dr. Lisa Kay, she's a therapist, and she wrote this book, Intuition on Demand. Intuition is knowing without knowing how you know it. And then there's Bill Bennett. I love him. He's a journalist that he didn't believe in any of this stuff. And he did a movie called PGS, Your Personal Guidance System. He spent 18 years investigating. And he said, intuition is a sudden, unexplained insight that comes unaided by logic, intellect, or experience. And, there are so many people that have succeeded because they followed their intuition. Look at Conrad Hilton, had what he called the Hilty hunch. He wouldn't make a decision without it. Of course, there's Steve Jobs and all that he did with his incredible technology and intuition in his business. Reed Hastings is the CEO of Netflix. They call him the guy with the golden gut because basically he chooses his stuff based on his gut. And then Henry Ford, I like this story because Henry Ford was basically in 1914 not selling many cars and had high turnover and people were leaving. So he decided to double his payment of his workforce, and then nobody left. And then suddenly they had major retention and they could afford the cars that they were making. So it was kind of groundbreaking at the time. So I tell people, look, intuition is that bird that flies in front of your car. It's the thought that you're not thinking about. And all chefs and mixologists and people in the hospitality industry use their intuition when they're cooking. It's literally how you create magic. I mean, I've interviewed doctors who use intuition when they're operating on someone. They know they have a game plan, but suddenly they're like, oh, turn left. And oh, wow, there's this. Let's take it out. So intuition is something we all have. And so I've interviewed so many experts that give tools and tips on how to activate it. So I can share that with you guys before we get to the sage and the Palo Santo. Is that okay, Belinda?
Yeah, let's do it. I love that you brought it back to hospitality because so many of the people here are brought here because we love food and drink or we work professionally in food and drink. So you're right. I never really thought about it that way. Like hospitality is also so much about intuition, trying to intuit what your guest needs. So cool.
And you're using the body as a tuning fork because you're getting a feeling like they call it the gut check for a reason. Your gut is telling you something. There are actually neurotransmitters in the stomach, in the GI. That's science. So trust your gut because that's actually happening. You're like, your spidey senses are going for a reason. So the only way you can get intuitive input is to actually slow down because apparently chaos does not find intuition. Intuition does not breed it. It's like they just kind of can't match. So you got to stop, take a breath, meditate, walk, whatever it is. Some people get great intuition in the shower, right? Some people when they're cooking get great intuition because their mind is turned off and they're physically just doing something else. And cynics don't get turned in either. So if you don't believe in any of this stuff, it's not going to land with you either. Trusting that there's something, your first thought is your best thought. I love that. Your first thought is your best thought. And then being grateful for having that transmission and then moving on it. Like we can't literally make magic happen if we just sit on the couch. You have to do something. And I think everybody here understands that action is what breeds results, but you don't want to just act frivolously. You want to have intention with your action. So, those are just some of the things that I just try to incorporate. And as we all have a lot of time, downtime, sitting on the couch, if you think of somebody out of nowhere, trust that, call on them, text them, also try this. Like when your phone vibrates, don't look at it. The first thought is your best thought. Think who it might be. That's how you build up your intuitive muscles. You got to practice every single day. So that gut check that you get, trust that your body is a tuning fork. We all need to understand that. And then there's all the sage kits. So here's what I want to show you guys. I interviewed, and I do these spiritual social clubs a couple times a week. I have one Wednesday night this week. Her name is Carol Tranchina from Long Island. She's a medium that I literally found from a friend of a friend. It's always recommendations. It's always someone that I've actually experienced myself and had a really good experience with. So Carol is going to be joining me at the Spiritual Social Club Wednesday night. We've got a numerologist coming up. I've got an astrologer. I've got another healer coming on. Oh, the pet psychic. This is serious business. This woman was an engineer for the military, and now she is a pet psychic. I'm telling you, I find the funniest people. So Susan Rowland is a psychic medium here in the Chicago area that told me that Palo Santo, so this is a stick of wood. It's called Palo Santo, P-A-L-O Santo, S-A-N-T-O. You can get it on Amazon. It comes in bulk if you want it. But basically, Palo Santo is the lotion, sage is the soap. So this bundle of sage, you can order these on, you can get these both, by the way, at Whole Foods. There you go, Belinda, you've got yours. I know this looks like really weird, but when you take it into little pieces and then you light it, so you can literally just take a little piece off like that and you light it. It smells like pot. Somebody's gonna be thinking your neighbors are gonna think you're smoking weed. So you just basically, start with the soap. And you know what? People say to keep your windows shut. Some others say to keep them slightly cracked open. I just feel like the intention is bringing in positive energy, out with the old, in with the new. It's just a sacred chant that you say to yourself. I always say I bring in the love and light of the universe. I call in the love and light of the universe. Whatever your faith is, just bring it in. This little bit is plenty. And you walk through the house and it's literally, or you can put it in, like, if you order one of these kits on Amazon, I'm not kidding, it comes with the shell. It's kind of crazy. And it comes with this, and you literally fan it and you walk around your house and say, I call in the positive energy. Whatever you want to say, sing a song, put on Mozart, put on Delight. I don't care. Just anything that makes you happy and makes you feel dancy, just do it. And then you walk around the house with that intention of just bringing out with the old and with the new. And then after the sage is done and your house smells like a big pot party, then you take your Palo Santo. And this is frustrating because it doesn't stay lit so well. So that's why I get one of these mega lighters that you light a fire with, or a barbecue. And when you light the Palo Santo, it catches like this, and then you just kind of let it go like this, and then you let it burn for about 15 seconds. And then you blow it out, and you'll see it creates just a little mist. And this, I love the smell of. The Palo Santo smells like a campfire. It is awesome. And it's just like, you just kind of go for it. And this one goes out on its own after about 15 seconds. So you have to keep relighting it. That's why I highly recommend one of these lighter deals, because when you have to keep relighting it, I've burned the tips of my fingers off so many times. So sage is first, that's your soap. Palo Santo, that's your lotion. And then you're ready for a big ass party because you got all the positive energy in. Then you have your friends over, you're socially distanced, you're having your gathering. And then sage when they leave. You've got to do it.
Wait, so we should be saging our friends out? I love this.
They might have had some hitchhikers, and that's a whole other demonstration. But anyway.
Jen, this is so amazing. Thank you for sharing just a tiny bit of your woo-woo wisdom together. So I know that Christina put the website for the social club into the chats, and we'll also share that with everyone again later. So they can sign up to join you for these sessions.
Yes. Definitely. Go to my website, click on, I think there's like 4 slots available for Carol Triagina on Wednesday. And then the numerologist, the pet whisperer, all of those, I usually put them up about 10 days ahead because we have 2 a week usually. So it's just a fun way to stay connected, like-minded, very intimate. Bring your own sage.
Thank you so much. I hope you'll hang out. I'm sure there'll be questions after we do our dancing and the after party, and then we can get a little deeper and delve a little further with you. But it's now time. I'm ready to push back my chair and grab my drink. So here's what's happening now. We're welcoming back Christine and Chris, who choreographed this super cool dance, and I'm hoping that everybody will push back their chairs and stand up or move away from their bar. You don't have to leave your drink behind. And they brought a bunch of friends, which I'm so excited about, to move and do this dance with us today. So if you are recording yourself, I hope that you will press those 3 buttons up on the top right, pin yourself, and press record, because we'd love to have your footage in our video. Christina, Chris, I'm going to let you take it away. And Christina's going to be DJ for us today. So she's got the music all queued up.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
All right. So we got our alcohol, feeling a little loose.
Yes.
Food, got a little bit of energy.